Good morning students. Today we are going to learn regarding the anatomy of the heart model. As you all know that heart is one of the vital organ. So first we will know what is heart. So heart is a hollow muscular organ. Okay. There are structures inside it which has a hollow shape. There is a space between, that's why it is known as a hollow, and it is made of muscles, that's why it is known as a muscular organ. So heart is a hollow muscular organ and its size is a owner's fist. For example, if you are asking about size of the my heart, so this is the size of the my heart, so owner's fist. Then if we talk about the weight, so in the male it is approximately 300 grams and in the females it is 250 grams. Apart from that, the main function of the heart is the pumping action. So as you all know that heart is an important pumping organ and it supply blood to whole of the body. So that's why it is a pumping action. Apart from that, the location is the mediastinum. So it is located in the mediastinum. As you can see, this is our lungs. So in between the lungs it is situated. So that's why this space between the two lungs, it is known as the mediastinum. So 2/3 part is on the left side while the 1/3 part is on the right side. So that is the location of the heart. Now we will see the model of the heart. So as you can see, this is the model of the heart which is given in the practical examination. Okay, so as you can see, this is the model of the heart. So this is of a small size, this is of the big size. This is a closed heart model and for you, I have opened this model. So let's first see the parts of the heart. So in this model, as you can see, these two parts, which is the upper part, it is known as the atrium. So this is on the right side, that's why it is known as the right atrium. This is on the left side, that's why it is known as the left atrium. Now the lower chambers are known as the ventricle. So this is the right ventricle and this is the left ventricle. Now the right part and the left part is divided by a septum. So this part is known as the septum. Now here you can see, this is a blue part. So this blue part shows the superior vena cava. Superior vena cava supplies the blood to the right atrium. So the deoxygenated blood connected through the superior vena cava. Now this you can see, this red part is known as the aorta. So oxygenated blood goes from the heart to the body through the aorta. Now here you can see two red colors are there. These are known as the pulmonary vein. These are the only veins in the body which carry the oxygenated blood. Now there are four, so 2 on each side. So there are 4 pulmonary veins. Now you can see this blue part. So this blue part is known as the pulmonary artery. This is the only artery which carries the deoxygenated blood. Okay, so let us see this in the diagram. So as you can see, this part is known as the superior vena cava. It carries the deoxygenated blood from the upper parts of the body, and this part is known as the inferior vena cava. So it carries the deoxygenated blood from the lower body parts. So this whole goes into the right atrium, which is the upper chamber. So this is the right atrium. So right atrium or right side part is always carry the deoxygenated blood. So here you can see 3 cups are there. So this is a valve. So this name of the valve is the tricuspid valve. So because there are 3 cups are there, that's why it is known as the tricuspid valve, and it is present between the right atrium and the right ventricle. Now the lower chamber is known as the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, the blood goes into this blue color, as you can see. This is known as the pulmonary artery. Now, as we all know that the main function of the artery is carry the oxygenated blood, but this is an exception. It carries the deoxygenated blood. So the pulmonary artery is the only artery which carry the deoxygenated blood. You can see this is the pulmonary artery. Now this pulmonary artery will carry the deoxygenated blood to the lungs, and there will be exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen will take place. After that, the oxygenated blood will comes through the pulmonary veins. You can see these are the pulmonary veins on the both sides. You can see these are pulmonary veins. So basically there are 4 pulmonary veins. So from pulmonary vein is also an exception, as you all know that all of the veins carry the deoxygenated blood, but the pulmonary vein carry the oxygenated blood. So it will goes into the left atrium. So left atrium carries the oxygenated blood. After that, you can see there are again a valve which is known as the bicuspid valve, also known as the mitral valve. The main function is the valve is to prevent the backflow of the blood. So from the bicuspid, because there are 2 cusps are there, so it will goes into the left ventricle. Now the left ventricle will pull all this blood into the aorta. As you can see, this is the aorta. Aorta is the largest artery of the human body, and this will supply the blood to whole of the body. So from the aorta it will goes into the body. You can see there are 3 branches are there. So the first branches is known as brachiocephalic. So brachio means arm and cephalic means head. So this will supply to the brachiocephalic. Now after that, this part which is the second branch of the aorta, this is known as the common carotid artery. So this will supply to the heart itself, and after that the last is known as the subclavian artery. Now the function of the subclavian artery is to supply the rest of the body parts. So this is all regarding the anatomy of the heart. So there are 4 valves present in the heart. 2 are atrioventricular valves which are present within the atria and the ventricles, and 2 are semilunar valves which is present between one of the chamber and the another artery or the blood vessels. Now as we can see in the 2 atrioventricular valves, there are 2 valves are present. One is tricuspid and another is the bicuspid. Because there are 3 cups are there, that's why it is known as the tricuspid. It is present between the right atrium and the right ventricle. Next is the bicuspid, or also known as the mitral valve. It is present between the left atrium and the left ventricle. Now the semilunar valves. So the first one is the pulmonic valve which is present between the right ventricle and the pulmonary artery, and next is the aortic valve which is present between the left ventricle and the aorta. So basically these 4 valves are present in the heart. Now we will see the layers of the heart. So as we all know that heart is present inside a sac-like structure. So it protects the heart. Now this sac-like structure is known as the pericardium. It is basically having the 2 layers. The one is the fibrous and another is the serous layer. Now the serous is further divided into the parietal layer and the visceral layer. Now this visceral layer is also known as the epicardium. So always remember that the visceral layer is known as the epicardium. These both are different. Okay. Now in between these 2 there is a fluid present. This is known as the pericardial fluid. So it prevents the friction between the 2 layers of the heart. So that is very important thing. Apart from that, whenever the question will come, you must remember that there are 3 layers: epicardium, outer layer, myocardium, middle layer. Okay, and it is very important layer because the main pumping action of the heart is because of the myocardium itself, and the innermost layer is known as the endocardium. So 3 layers of the heart is present, but it is present in an outermost sac-like structure which is known as the pericardium. Okay, so that you have to remember. Apart from that, always remember that the upper part of the heart is known as the base and the lower part of the heart is known as the apex. Just because these are the opposite words, so that's why it is practically important for you that the apex comes in the downward position and the base is known the upperward. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.